Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for May 5th, 2015. And we're going to have a frontal boundary that is going to be sagging very, very slowly to the south across our coverage area. It's going to take a sweet time moving through. This is going to actually take place from north to south, beginning early this afternoon and ending sometime overnight tonight. But this frontal boundary, which is situated right about here, is going to move southward from New York State, touch off a few showers and scattered thunderstorms, mainly this afternoon and evening. So, depending on how fast this boundary moves to the south, was really determining who's going to get the worst of it, as far as stronger storms versus just the garden variety. And we go a little bit further in the day here, we can see that the global models are actually bringing this front down a little bit further south. So just out ahead of it, along it, is the focus of these showers and thunderstorms, where we have the warmer temperatures, and that will allow for some wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour in the most robust storms. There is disagreement with the short-range guidance, though. So the latest NAM that we looked at, that came out this evening, looks a little bit lost. So we use an older version of it, where it has the frontal boundary a little bit further south, bringing those showers and thunderstorms in here. As we get into in the afternoon and the evening hours, and that'll be from west to east here. This will continue a little bit until we get in the overnight hours. Might even have a morning shower here for some areas here on Wednesday, very early, and I think it's one of those deals where clouds break for sunshine on the afternoon on Wednesday. So the new NAM actually is doing something a little goofy. Keeps this frontal boundary way up to the north here, so it focuses the showers and thunderstorms right along that boundary, which every other model has a way down here. So we're kind of going to dismiss that idea. We will keep an eye out on just in case, though, just in case the newest NAM is on to something. But it does look like we do clear out of here for Wednesday. Here's a look at Wednesday. Most of the activity that we have now is further southwest of our coverage area here. Might have to watch Delaware, or at least the southern two-thirds of Delaware, for some showers hanging on there as well. Elsewhere, we're going to be warming up a little bit. Next thing we're going to be keeping our eye on here is this system here moving in your picture off the southeastern U.S. coastline. This is actually a subtropical system, which means it is a cold chord system, at least in the upper levels. And when you have a tropical storm or a hurricane, it is a warm chord system throughout, from surface all the way up to the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is not the case with this one. So we might have a warm lower level or even mid levels, but the upper levels are cold, which keeps us from becoming a tropical storm or a hurricane. And it's really not going to get to that point where it's that strong, where it might get to minimal tropical storm or subtropical storm force winds here out of this before I think it dissipates. And one of the big reasons it's going to dissipate and not really go anywhere, it's going to be sitting over the same area and just sitting and spinning. And the reason it's not going anywhere is we have the steering flow is lost, because we have this very, very strong ridge over the east here. So kind of caught up and caught underneath the ridge here, and it really has nowhere to go. So there's no steering currents. So we're not expecting this to come up here, come up the coast and nail us here and give us any rain or anything like that. We're not expecting any precipitation from it whatsoever as we go into late weekend and beyond into the weekend. And that's because it's just going to kind of fall apart here, and the steering flow will not allow it to move and just kind of sit there and sit there and sit there. So nothing to worry about with the subtropical system, at least not for this area. You see what it's doing. This is going over several days now. I'm spending several days here, and it really isn't moving. So that's the deal there. Now, one thing we're going to be dealing with when we get into as we get into Sunday and maybe even into next week, might be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms as we get into finally in the Monday, Tuesday time frame. It's going to take a while to get here, but I think early next week we finally get some more showers and thunderstorms move through. But until then, we're going to be warming up in a big way. Here's a look at Thursday's temperatures. We're back up into the 80s in many locations. As we go a little bit further from that point each day. Now, if you look at the number of the colors here, they're going to get darker and darker each time. That is an indication of warmer temperatures across the region. There's going to be more and more reds. Once you get these reds, these dark oranges and reds, it's when we start getting really, really warm. And each day, as we get closer to the weekend here, here's a look at Saturday. Temperatures well in the low to mid 80s. Same thing for Sunday, but now we're going mid to upper 80s across some areas here. So I would not be surprised if some winter coverage area, either in the Sunday, Monday time frame, hits the 90-degree mark. Would not surprise me at all, especially with how dry it's been. If we don't get much in the way of precipitation Tuesday night, maybe early Wednesday, we don't get much in the way of precipitation. It doesn't really do much to soak into the ground. The dry ground is one of the contributors to the heating and getting up the air temperature even higher than the models have projected. And that's why the models are projecting temperatures lately, and they have been busting high, and that's one of the reasons, the dry conditions in place. But hopefully we get some precipitation out of that that's a little more appreciable, because not only just for the temperatures, but because we're doing a lot of brush fires. Red flag warnings were in effect, for the unusually dry conditions. It won't be today with the rain expected, but we just had those yesterday. So do be careful if you are burning. Some municipalities have burn bans in effect. Just check with your local authorities to see what their rules are on any burning outdoors. But it is definitely going to be very, very warm, and even hot, in fact, as we get into this weekend. And we will just have to sit back and wait and see how hot we actually get. Right now we're heading to about mid-80s for the most areas, but that can certainly change. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martridge, and that is your outlook for May 5th, 2015. Have a great Tuesday.